Hi, good morning, everyone. So welcome to our daily briefing today. So today is December 17, which is Friday. So let us take a quick recap on previous important economic data to begin our daily briefing. So the first one is Australia employment change November. Previous is negative 46.3 thousand. Forecast is 205,000 and actual is 366.1 thousand. So this is actually a positive news for the Aussie dollar. And then we go to the next one, which is the Australia unemployment rate November. So previous is 5.2%, forecast is 5%, and actual is 4.6%, slightly lower than the forecast. So this is another positive news for the Aussie dollar. And then we go to the next one, which is the SNB, Swiss National Bank interest rate decision. So previous forecast and also actual remain the same at negative 0.75%. So that this didn't affect much to the Swiss franc yesterday. Then we go to the next one, which is the Germany market composite PMI flash December. So previous is 52.2, forecast is 51.1, actual is 50. It's slightly lower than the forecast. So this is a negative news for the euro dollar. Then we go to the next one, which is the euro area market composite PMI flash December. So previous is 55.4, forecast is at 54, and actual is 53.4. It's slightly lower than the forecast. So this is another negative news for the euro dollar. And then we go to the next one, which is the UK market CIPS composite PMI flash December. So previous is 57.6, forecast is at 56.4, actual is 53.2. It's slightly lower than the forecast. So this is negative news for the GBP, for the pound. Then we go to the next one, which is the Bank of England interest rate decision. So previous and forecast remain at 0.10%, but the actual is 0.25%. They increased their interest rate. So this is actually a good news for the pound. So let us take a look on the market graph here. So we can see that the GBP USD, it rise up for around 100 pips yesterday because of this important economic data. Then we go back to our PowerPoint, and then we go to the next one, which is the Euro Central Bank interest rate decision. So previous forecast and actual remain the same at 0%. So this doesn't really affect much to the euro dollar yesterday. Then we go to the next one, which is the US building permits November. So previous is 1.653 million and forecast is 1.663 million. Actual is 1.712 million. So this is the actual is slightly higher than the forecast. So this is a good news for the US dollar. Then we go to the next one, which is the US initial jobless claims 11th December. So previous is 84,000, forecast is at 200,000, but the actual is slightly higher than the forecast at 206,000. So this is a negative news for the USD. And then we go to the next one, which is the US market manufacturing PMI flash December. So previous is 58.3, forecast is 58.5, actually is 57.8. So slightly lower than the forecast. So this is another negative news for the US dollar. And then we go next one, which is the US market services PMI flash December. So previous is 58, forecast is 58.5, actual is 57.5. So slightly lower than the forecast. So this is another negative news for the US dollar. And then we go to the next part of our daily briefing today, which is the previous day market volatility. For gold, it rise 160 pips last night. So let us read the factor here. So let us read the factor here, what happened on the gold market last night. So gold climbed for the second day in a row on Thursday. Spot gold rose by more than 1%, hitting a new high of 1799.71 US dollar per ounce since November 30. As the US dollar fell sharply after a series of hawkish central bank policy decisions. So this is the reason why the gold rise up yesterday. Then we go to next one, which is WTI crude oil. It's rise 180 pips. So what happened on the WTI crude oil market here? Let's read the factor here. So oil prices rose for the second day in a row as US crude oil inventories fell the most since September. So a weaker dollar helped boost the attractiveness of the commodities. The US Department of Energy reported on Wednesday that crude oil inventories plummeted by 58 million barrels, sending a bullish signal to the investors. So this is the reason why the WTI crude oil rise up again yesterday. So we go to the next one, which is the GBP USD. So it's rise 130 pips on yesterday. So let's read the factor here. So after the Bank of England became the first major central bank to raise interest rates since the COVID-19 epidemic hit the global economy on Thursday, the pound rose 0.84% to a two-week high of 1.3374 against the dollar. It rose 0.46% to 1.3323 in late trading. Okay, then we go to the next part. In Asia session today, we have to focus on this Bank of Japan interest rate decision. So it's actually released the actual just now. So let's take a look on this important economic data. So previous is negative 0.10%. Forecast is negative 0.10%. Actually, it's remain the same. So please forgive me because I did not update, and the schedule is at 11 o'clock just now. So this doesn't really affect much to the Japanese yen. Then we go to the next one. In EU session, today we have to focus on this important economic data. So let's take a look on the first one. So the first one is UK retail sales month November. So previous is 0.8%. Forecast is same at 0.8%. Schedule is at 3 o'clock later. So if higher than expected reading, should be taken as positive for the pound. So while lower than expected reading, should be taken as negative for the pound. And then we go to the next one, which is the Germany IFO business climate December. So previous is 96.5. Forecast is 95.3. Schedule is at 5 o'clock in the evening later. So if higher than expected reading, should be taken as positive for the euro dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative for the euro dollar. And then we go to the next one, which is the euro area inflation rate year-on-year final November. So previous is 4.9%. Forecast same at 4.9%. Schedule is at 6 o'clock in the evening later. So if higher than expected reading should be taken as positive for the euro dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as negative for the euro dollar. And then in US session today, so we don't have any important economic data we have to focus, but it has a speech by Fed Waller at 2 a.m. in the morning later. Okay, we have to focus. And then we go to the last part of our daily briefing today, which is the market update for gold. So the resistance level of today is 1808, and for the support level of today is 1786. So my personal opinion, my prediction, I will take it as a bullish movement continued by yesterday. So let's read the factors here why I will still take it as a bullish movement. So the dollar index suffered a double blow from the strength of the pound and the euro on Thursday, which is yesterday. So causing the price of gold to soar. So judging from yesterday's strong performance, there is still a lot of room for gold prices to rise. Okay, so pay attention to the Bank of Japan's interest rate decision and the speeches of the Fed officials in the day. So that's all for our daily briefing today. So wish you have a great day, and TGIF everyone, and see you on next week. Bye-bye.